Alright everyone, how's it going? I'm going to try and keep this short, but I haven't posted a video in a few days just because I've been trying to learn that bloody fight stick that you saw in the last video. Spending hours in training, just trying to get like the techniques and the execution down and shit, and it's just been a bloody nightmare. And I was thinking, like, how can I equate this to a game that I know, you know what I mean, that I feel as if I'm kind of comfortable on? I mean, I thought about Call of Duty, and I thought about how like, it differs so much in like the scenarios, and I think, well, like, there must be something, there must be some way I can kind of relate it. And I was thinking of, like, obviously learning curves and execution and how you'd approach a scenario, and there's things like, for example, see somebody just picked up Call of Duty, right? It was the very first game they hooked him. The problem is there's, as a player who's never played Call of Duty before, you can walk around the map, kind of get your bearings a wee bit without any idea that what's actually going on. Maybe get a couple of kills, but you're probably going to die quite a lot. Well, the problem with straight away with Street Fighter is, unless you've practiced like a lot, you're immediately, as soon as the game starts, you're immediately in front of your opponent, who, for all you know, has been playing Street Fighter for like 4 years, and is just gonna annihilate you. And then I was like, alright, well fuck, that's out the fucking window. And then I was thinking about how, like, the learning curve as far as, like, the buttons, the way that people kind of execute combos and stuff like that. And I was thinking about how, like, when I first started playing Call of Duty and, like, where I ended up, and how, like, I didn't really have any idea. Obviously people who play Street Fighter and have played it for years learn the scenarios, know like how to bait maybe an attack out so they can get a specific result. You know what I mean, how they can see kind of what's kind of like reads, you know what I mean, like see what maybe is going to come. They know the combos in and out, whereas like in Call of Duty it does take a while. The same thing is where somebody who's just played Call of Duty for the first time, or I don't know, the first 6 months, kind of just do their own thing, you know what I mean, they're not really like aware of where their team is, or where the enemy spawn could be, you know what I mean, they're not looking at map awareness, maybe one of their teammates just died to like the left or something, and they've got not paying attention to it at all, so they just keep walking in a straight line, even though there's somebody probably running up their ass, you know what I mean. It's the same thing with like, you're just trying to go on the instincts of what you actually have at the moment, you know what I mean, because you really haven't really learned anything, you're just trying to like hold your own and shit, and then you think, well, I'm not too good on the old controls and stuff, so I'll play slower. I'll learn how to like, well, Turtle and Street Fighter obviously, because like, but the thing is, like, for example, the classic, I don't know, Ryu Shoto kind of go forward fireball, I was like camping or something, you know what I mean, like you could maybe get like a couple of fireballs in there, but eventually the guy is gonna like jump over and just whip your fucking ass. Same way as like in Call of Duty, if you think you're going to sit in a corner and get a few kills, eventually the guy's going to remember where you are, and he's going to specifically come running for you. So, I mean, the one thing that I would find that is frustrating is like when you become a certain point, when you were playing Call of Duty, you could watch somebody play Call of Duty, you could see like a guy make a good play, like, I don't know, maybe he went round a corner, there's 3 dudes, and they shot the first guy because he was looking at him, when the other 2 wasn't, which is the obvious choice. Maybe throw like a flashbang in there and then drop shotted the other 2 guys or something. And you're like, okay, well, I've seen the same scenario, I could do that. But as far as Street Fighter goes, like when I watch Street Fighter, which I've been just watching relentlessly for the last like month, like few months, even like more and more, I can't do that. I can't see a guy, even though I know the exact buttons he's pressed, can't do this, replicate the same thing in training mode. I'll be like, okay, I know what to do, but I can't actually do it. You know what I mean? Because the execution on, like, especially on a fight stick, which as you've seen is just because it's something new. Whereas like you can play like a number of games because you're kind of used to the pad, but if you've never grown up in like arcades and shit and been around that and just that's like a natural thing, you're basically learning like a new controller. We're trying to like kind of incorporate that, and it's the most annoying thing in the world when you see somebody do something and you're like, you know how he's done it, but you can't do it because you just, your brain for some reason gets like fucking confused or something. It's just, it melts down. Or for me personally, like I get kind of frustrated when I'm trying to do basic things that I could do in the controller, and for some reason it just won't come out in the fight stick. Maybe I'm like on the actual stick itself, I'm just not getting the right commands, but it's so frustrating, man. And Like, as I say, there's so many little tactics. I feel as like Call of Duty or like shooters in general or something like that. It's just a bit more friendly, and like a fighting game is just more immediate. As soon as you start the round, boom, your opponent's in your face. He could be better than you. You know what I mean? You're like your combos and shit you practiced in training mode are out the window. You're running for your fucking life, but there's nowhere to run to because the stage is fucking tiny. You can't just like try and throw a flashbang and like fuck, just run away, hide, do what you know what I mean? There's just nowhere to go. And as long as he's like a better player, he's just gonna chase you down and shit. But I may run on for a bit too longer. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my kind of analysis and trying to learn it in a way that I could understand it as far as like previous games that I've played. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed and I'll catch you all later. Yes, my second win of the night.